Welcome to the second workout in the first week for the FORCE program. Before we get started, make sure you hang up the TRX suspension trainer the right way and make sure you will have done your mobility workout. In this workout, you're going to notice a higher emphasis on lower body. And we're really going to be focusing on maintaining that good core strength and stability and working through breaking at the hips or hip hinging as well as single leg work. So before we get started, remember we're going to be bringing you 3 athletes at 3 different levels of intensity. Make sure you know what level you should be working at. Focus on the movement first, learn your appropriate level of progression, earn your right to move forward, and focus on what you're doing. All right, let's get after it. The first exercise is going to be the TRX hip press. So you want to adjust the straps so the bottom of those foot cradles are hitting you about mid-calf. And another way to double check it is as you sit down on the ground, you want to make sure the bottom of those foot cradles are just above your toes when it's all the way down. So now go ahead and let yourself lay back, drop your heels in. Make sure you got the straps up good on your heels. And now for level 1, you're going to start with straight legs. Level 2 and 3, you're going to bend your knees so they're right on top of your hips. And 45 seconds begins now. You'll notice level 1 is now engaging that core, and so that plank is moving up and down, but extending from the hips and hamstrings and getting that posterior chain turned on. Level 2, her hips are not resting on the floor each time, and she's coming up a nice good hip extension. You want to feel almost like you got a stretch in the front of those hips and driving from those glutes. Core stays engaged. Level 3, the hands are up for a little bit less stability. We're about halfway there. One of the common mistakes they'll make is as they come back down, those knees will wander away from the hips. So I'm going to stand right in front of David's feet right here, and now his feet have to stay in the same place as he comes up into hip flexion and hip extension, up and down. And now we make sure that core stays engaged and he's driving it from the glutes. We just got 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1, and down and relax. Now, next move is going to be our TRX overhead back extension. So now you're going to adjust the TRX so it's at mid-length. You're going to stand facing the anchor point. So we just start to warm up this hip flexion and extension, driving from the glutes with a strong core. We're going to take that same movement pattern and we're going to have it from a standing position. You're going to start in that end range. So you want to stand up so you're feeling nice and tight. That posterior chain is turned on. You want to feel biceps by the ears. You don't want to have your arms in front of your head. Nice and strong here. 45 seconds begins now. You'll notice our level 1 athlete, his hands are staying in the same place in 3-dimensional space, and he's just working on that hip hinge, going back into flexion and coming up into extension, really feeling that stress come from his hamstrings and his glutes. His back is staying flat because that core stays turned on the whole time. Level 2, she's getting those arms to drive up overhead, holding that top position. You see those scapular pulled down and back, breaking at the hips. So now she's going into shoulder flexion and hip extension at the